Hey! I'm gonna share with you guys 5 productivity tips that have helped me be productive. So it might be surprising to some of you, but I'm actually a pretty lazy person, and sometimes I do feel unmotivated to get up out of bed, especially during the winter where all I want to do is stay in bed and be cozy. But you know, it gets to a point where you just have to get up. I realized that thinking about getting out of bed is a lot more painful than the actual doing of it. I think that's usually why people struggle with being productive to begin with, is that they think about it too much, and then the thinking about it gets them into a state that is overwhelming, and then they don't want to do the thing that they know they need to do. And that only happens when we're overthinking it. So since I personally get easily overwhelmed when I think about all the things I need to do, I like to keep things extremely straightforward and simple. So these are pretty simple steps that you can start today. The main thing is having a self-care centered morning routine. And for me, this is daily yoga, 10 to 15 minutes of meditation, a bowl of oatmeal, some coffee, and a shower. These are very simple things that help me get the day started in a state where I feel calm and peaceful. And I think that's incredibly important, because you don't want to start the day off scrolling through your phone already anxious, because that feeling bleeds into everything else that you do in the day. So I basically start off my day with these practices because it brings me emotional and mental clarity and stability. It's a great foundation to jump off of. This state of mind also provides a fertile ground for inspiration. Being a creative person in the creative field, I need to clear my vessel for those sparks of inspiration and downloads to come to me. If my vessel isn't clear, if I'm not feeling good in my body, in my mind, and my emotions, then there's a lot of muck in the way. The signal that I have with the divine isn't as clear, if that makes sense. So I got to keep my vessel in good working conditions for the ideas to come to me and flow through me. So what you put into your work is what you get out. If you're feeling tired and stressed and low energy while you're doing your work, then you're not going to produce work that is as good as it could be when you're at your best. So self-care has been an incredibly important factor in helping me be productive. Second thing is creating a simple to-do list for the day. I have a whiteboard that I keep next to the refrigerator. I like to write at least 3 things that I want to accomplish that day. And it ranges, you know. That could be editing a video, could be running an errand. Just 3 things that I know I want to get done that day. And this could be any number, like as long as it doesn't feel super overwhelming, that's what I stick with. Number 3, tend to your environment. You've probably heard this plenty of times before, but when you wake up in the morning, make your bed, you know. It really makes a difference, because you're putting time and effort into creating a less chaotic environment. I mean, your environment is an extension of you. So if your environment is cluttered and dirty, there's dishes in the sink and there's clothes on the ground and there's just a bunch of trash around, you're going to take that in subconsciously. You might be like thinking about something else, but you're taking your environment in. So I like to keep my desk very minimal, very clear, so that I can sit here and not feel overwhelmed. I can sit here and feel at peace and allow the ideas to come, allow the work to flow. Because what you want is flow. And if there's stuff in the way, physical objects everywhere, then energy can't flow as easily. So keeping your work environment clear from clutter and distraction, make it somewhere where you want to sit down and do work. A little bit of time every day making sure your environment feels good to be in is incredibly important. The 4th thing is doing one action at a time. No more multitasking. When we're multitasking, we're actually splitting our attention. When I'm eating, I like to just eat. Focus on the plate of food in front of me and take my time savoring every bite. I think that's a good practice, to just being mindful of every little task, every little action that you perform throughout the day and doing it one at a time. Because when we're multitasking, our focus is not as clear as it could be when we're just focusing on one thing at a time. It's like our attention is split in all different directions. Your brain feels more scattered and your life feels more scattered. You feel more disorganized and chaotic when you're trying to get 4 things done at the same time. I'd say one thing at a time. Making this video, it was overwhelming to think about, to be honest, but I knew all I had to do was put on a shirt, put on this mic, sit down, turn my camera on. It was one action at a time. And although my thoughts were like, oh, I don't want to do this right now, blah, blah, I didn't allow my thoughts to distract me from the end goal, which is to make this video. I'm sitting here and I feel fine. I wasn't as anxious as I was before the making of this. So when I hit record and I started talking, the rest kind of just took care of itself. That's what sort of just starts to happen when you decide to put one foot in front of the other. Again, thinking about a task can feel very overwhelming, but when you're actually doing it, is not nearly as overwhelming as it is in your brain. So stop it. The last thing is daily leisure time. What can you do every day that is fun, that feels good, that fills your soul? I mean, I think your work ideally should do that, but you can do something mindless and fun. It could be like taking a break and watching your favorite television show, or I like to watch YouTube videos. A lot of the YouTubers that I watch vlog about their lives, mainly in rural areas, like Jonna Jinton. I'm not pronouncing her name right, but I love her vlogs. They make me feel so at peace and calm. Just getting a little dose of Swedish. Where does she live? Finland? No. Sweden. Getting a little dose of Sweden in my day helps me feel at ease, and I love it. I love watching my YouTube videos. I love cooking and taking my time to eat my food and really appreciate every bite. That's really important to me. I like to sit down on the couch and scroll through Instagram, but I know that can get, you're kind of playing with fire, but there is an internal nudge in me now that goes off when I know I'm spending too much time on it. So yeah, do your Instagram, do your social media, do whatever you need to do to relax, but make sure you get back into it. Find that balance between the work that you need to do and having fun and relaxing. I feel like, or I've been relaxing a bit too much lately, and when I feel that way, I feel an internal sense of restlessness. Like I want to put my energy into something more productive and creative rather than just kind of consuming all day and being lazy. So I've had those days. It's the winter right now and it's harder to get myself moving, but once you're moving, it feels good. So remember that, And I'd say my last tidbit for you is when you're feeling stuck or unmotivated, do anything, do one thing, anything. It could be anything, like one action, get yourself out of your head, because that's where those thought loops start to happen and then you kind of get stuck in it and it's the worst feeling. So go for a walk, get some momentum going with one action and then do the next action and the next action. Keep it simple. Like I said, I get easily overwhelmed. So over time, I've been able to just figure out what's worked for me and what is complementary to my pace and my lifestyle, which is that I like to take things slow and steady. So yeah, I hope that helped in some way. I'm trying to be just more consistent with uploading videos, which is why I wanted to create this video to begin with, because one of the main struggles in my life has been being productive. And I know I have a lot of creative energy and creative potential in me, so I want to be able to show up consistently every day and do the work that I know in my heart I was meant to do. So I hope that helped. It'd mean a lot if you guys could like and subscribe. And if you feel called to do so, please leave a comment below with a productivity tip that has helped for you. All right, well, that's all for now. Thank you. Yeah, so